or I play some flute, some Native American flute. And I've done various things, and it was advertised that I'd be doing my talk and tell about your songs thing again. But then I ran into these old fellers that I hadn't seen in a long time. I hadn't seen these two young men since they were teenagers. You got old since I saw you. Like, they were teenagers when the song last. And we used to play bluegrass music together at events. And I said, I acted helpless. I said, I'm playing down at Serpent now. And if you guys want to come down and maybe play with me, I know that people would really like it. More than just me talking and singing the same old songs that I always do. And they said they'd come, and here they are. And you all do we have a name? Tuesday Night Pickers?
Wherever you was.
We're the Tuesday Night Pickers. What I'm trying to honor here is I was born in Appalachia. I was born in Kentucky. And found out Matt, the banjo player, came from so deep in the hollers of Virginia that he didn't even know there was another kind of music besides bluegrass until he was a teenager. He's from that deep. And Bobby is a Vietnam vet, and I'm wearing a shirt to honor Bobby. He helped start Honor Flight in Dayton.
Yeah, from
Columbus,
Georgia, by the way.
You're from? He's from Georgia. Acts like it too. And
redneck, that's me, man. I know.
But with so many of my uncles and my grandparent was in World War II, and to think that Bobby helped men near the end of their lives go and see the World War II memorial for Honor Flight. And back in the days when we put together, we did several events to raise money for the Honor Flight, and that was something that was important to me. And recently I've had a memory of two of my aunts, my Aunt Dorothy and my Aunt Kathleen, on the front porch of my great-grandfather's house that he had built himself. Sat there over a creek there, that porch. And they had an old songbook out, and they were singing Barbary Allen, one of the oldest songs in the history of this music. Came over from, I think, the hills of Scotland. By the time it went to Virginia, it morphed into about 60 different versions. And they were singing that song on the front porch, and I remember I was up in a tree watching them, just listening to them sing in harmony, listening to the creek, and looking at how many of us cousins had carved our name in that tree. And just one of those moments that sort of sticks in your mind like a photograph or like an old movie. And I'm not quite sure what it means except this moment here where we're trying to create a front porch feeling. You know, notice we're at the end of our season. Maybe we'd been out on the farm, and not on a Sunday. Not on a Sunday. Let's imagine it's not Sunday. But, you know, the weekday, you'd be out working hard in the field. Come afternoon where it gets so hot, you'd come into the shade of the front porch. And if any instruments, the instruments might come out and do some singing, do some playing. And then often on Sunday, you know, you'd have people would gather to sing their music on the front porch. And this is just much part of my memory. So I didn't have a back door. I didn't have a porch door, but a friend over here they're selling the Native American flutes. She said, well, I've got a screen. I got a screen door. So that's our screen door for the porch right there. You should imagine that. And let's see, imagine that we're on some rustic handmade furniture, an old handmade chair, an old handmade couch on the front porch there. And if you listen real close, you can hear the creek. It's flowing in the background there. Yeah, that's Christie Creek. So we're way up there now.
So you might as well keep that somewhat close to you.
I'm out of talker. I better quit talking. We better just play one here.
It's pretty folksy.
I met a fellow that was a bluegrass banjo player from Canada. And I said, what in Canada? Why do you play the bluegrass banjo? And he said, Beverly Hillbillies. Watching the Beverly Hillbillies, the reruns. And every episode opened with that banjo music. And it just went into my soul, so I had to learn the banjo. And that was Flat and Scruggs, and one of their most famous songs was one of the most familiar bluegrass songs. Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Let's start off with a little bit of that Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Let's just go right into it.
Nice job, Matthew.
Don't want to hit you in the arm.
Yeah, crammed us in kind of tight there, didn't it?
Yeah, it's alright.
Well, that's the way it's done. Good job there, boys. Well, the family, we started in Moorhead, Kentucky, and then all my family moved up to Ohio. And the family joke became, it was to get you away from that hillbilly music. And then I discovered it on my own.
Oh, you're recording.
Oh, you're okay.
And I think some of it was watching the Beverly Hillbillies or Hee Haw. My parents tried to get me to watch Hee Haw, and I just loved every moment of it and watched that Hee Haw. And I found out when I turned 18 a deep, dark family secret. That my Pappy Lee ran moonshine in the hills of Kentucky. Yes, he did. And I can just envision him in one of those hopped up Mercury V8 engine, secret compartment, cop suspension on that thing, outrunning the law. But apparently he was just a middleman that sold it. He wasn't really one of the runners. But, you know, it's in my imagination that he was one of the runners. But this old Grandpa Jones song took on a whole new meaning when I found out that Pappy Lee ran the moonshine. Mountain Dew there. how we felt. You say that we right all the way through. It was smell of your breath. It's the good old mountain dew. They call it that good old mountain dew. All right.
All right.
Low tech upgrade.
Volleyball.
See, fellas. Good to see you.
Wouldn't be a porch chicken without the wash tub base. Buddy Bob come with a little wash tub basement.
A straddle there. Oh my God.
I ain't seen you in 10 years.
This is kind of a family reunion.
On the porch picture.
As I said, I knew these two guys when they were teenagers, and now they're all grown up. And I don't know that they knew they were following in my footsteps, but I taught high school for 30 years before I retired. And both of these boys are now teachers. And to think of them, and what good, fine young men they were back then, and to think of them now teaching our kids, it makes me really proud of them. And I think they're following the footsteps. So. It's got to be hard to be a teacher right now. I could hardly imagine. But they're doing it, and they're doing a fine job and getting kids interested in learning. And I was hearing that. I was quizzing Justin. This is Justin, by the way, Justin Hope here, playing fiddle. And, he's been what I've called a virtuoso fiddle player since he was a child. And that may or may not be true, but
We'll go with it.
any of us that have tried to play a fiddle and watch him doing it know how hard it is, a job that he's doing it. That's a part of it. It really makes a good person.
It's all.
Now, one of the things that's part of Appalachian music is mining. And my great-grandfather, whose hat I wear, this is my great-grandfather's hat, he served our country in World War I. And he learned all about electricity when everybody called it electric down in the hollers. And everybody thought it was magic. And he learned how to do electricity. And what his job was from here in Ohio and West Virginia, Kentucky, went up to Wisconsin. And he wired the mines because he wasn't scared of electricity the way everybody was. So he would wire the lighting in. And everybody thought he was magic or something back in those days. That was probably back in the teens, in the 20s. But I like to honor my Pappy Clelly, whose hat I wear, and remember his service in World War I, where he lost 1.5 lungs. He lived all his life with half a lung because he got gassed in the trenches with that mustard gas. And that's what my granny Liz said killed him of the lung cancer. Now he smoked a pipe and he smoked cigarettes and he chewed tobacco, but it was that mustard gas when he was 18 that made him kill him. But now Bobby has people that were in the mines, and Bobby wrote a song one time.
You know, this
I did
because
right.
I didn't know Bobby could read or write.
And some of us didn't know that Bobby was literate at all, but he is, and he wrote a song probably when he was about, how old were you when you wrote this?
About 16,
So that's about 75 years ago that he wrote this.
Yeah.
Right after the Civil War.
So here's Bobby's song about the miner.
That reminded me how this works. You sing into the mic.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome.
Been a while. If you ever been in southern Kentucky, I get choked up talking about this. My uncle Larry, L.A., that's lower Alabama, and we went to the cotton mills in Columbus, Georgia, to get work, and found that it wasn't enough, but it went on to Harlan County. And, my uncle Larry stayed. Uncle Willem went one time and said, "That's enough, never again," and lived a life out there on the holler. So this is for them.
rocking it.
Bobby Swigert, everybody.
Yeah, it sounds really good out in the distance. It sounds awesome. Really does.
Yeah, when they
We
put
usually
me
like
way
the further you get away
And,
from
and the
us.
closer
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get, more
right.
we have radio faces. We've got faces meant for the radio.
Alright, yeah. Faces meant for the radio.
You know, one of the things
Speak for
that
yourself.
that
That's
one
a
in a
very
while.
handsome young man.
he's turned into a fine-looking young man, him is there.
We can't do a show without some lady having something to say about that.
The ladies love banjo
It's
picks.
the banjo.
It's the banjo. They think the banjo's sexy.
I see it and I think of it like a handicap sticker.
There was an old songwriter named Mason Williams that wrote a song called Classical Gas, but usually he was a comedian. And he wrote a whole series of songs called the Them Songs. And one of his Them songs was Them Banjo Pickers. Them banjo pickers, well, what do you say? They played the same damn song for 3 or 4 days. And the money went away. Then all those little kind of started to crumble. And if you look all through southeast Ohio, northeast Kentucky, all through Appalachia, you'll see these remnant towns that, that they had money at one time. And then the money went away, and then, they went into sort of a poverty. And you see, there's often a fancy bank and fancy buildings, and sometimes a big old school, and often all kind of crumbling away. And so sometimes it's hard to go back home. And another one of the themes in the Appalachian music is what it's like when you go back home. Because, it might have been 10 long years since I left my home in the holler where I was born. There's blue fall nights and the woods smoke light and water flows as warm. Well, I fell in love with the girl from the town. Thought that she would be true. She ran away to Charlottesville. I worked a sawmill too. What have they done to the old honey? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave a brown and look for a The geese fly south and I sit here and hang my head. I've lost my way and I've lost my home. Now I wish that I were dead. What have you done to the old place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave a flower and look for a job? Why did I leave a flower and look for a job? Another thing about Appalachian music, my people were some of the most religious people that you'd ever care to meet. And the songs they liked to hear were about horrible murders. Where there'd been maybe an affair or something, or a man asked a woman to marry him and she wouldn't marry him, so slaughtered her, and threw her in a river, and just these horrible songs. And how these religious, kind-hearted, take you to their house and feed you. You go up to their house, honey, can I give you something to eat? These kind of people would want to hear about horrible murders, about a fella that gunned a feller down, and apparently didn't do a very good job of it. He could hardly get away. But everybody called him poor boy, and I started looking at the words of the song, and I started really not liking the fellow. He shot a man down on the West Virginia line and tried to get away and couldn't. And I'm thinking he's first not much of a murderer to shoot a man in the back with these 2 guns. Probably these rich parents bought him. And then to not hardly be able to get away. he wasn't very good at that either. He had him a good-looking woman, apparently, as many of them do. And, you know, parents that spoiled him. But once you've gunned a man down on the West Virginia line, you know, it might end up like this. John Hart. John Hardy was a desperate little man. He carried 2 guns every day. He shot him a man on the West Virginia line. Should have seen John Hardy getting away, poor boy. Should have seen John Hardy getting away. But they chased him over to the sport bridge, for there he thought he'd be free. But up pops the sheriff and grabs him by the arm, saying, Johnny, come along with me, poor boy. Johnny, come along with me. John Hardy called for his mama, and he called for his papa too. But there ain't no bail on a murder charge, so they threw John Hardy back in jail. So they threw John Hardy back in jail. Well, John Hardy had him a pretty little girl. Her dress was blue. He'd come on down to the jailhouse hall, saying, Johnny, I'll be true to you. Poor boy, Johnny, I'll be true to you. I've traveled this whole world around. I've been to the river and I've been capsized, but I'm on my hanging ground. I'm hanging ground. Good job, boys. We didn't practice that one. Let's do that one. Now, Justin's a fine singer. So, Justin, what song would you like to sing for everybody?
Well, why don't we ready to move out of Nice Move Up Day?
Oh boy.
Do our little Molly Rose.
Oh, that's
Song about the stripper. He likes that song.
This is why Chris shuts it off on me.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna sing all the nice songs. I'm gonna sing a rotten song. In my defense, when I first learned the words to the song when I was about 12 years old, I had no idea what it was about. All I knew is it was a pretty melody, and I was playing with all these old guys who was probably laughing at me the whole time I was singing about it. And honestly, no joke, I'm 38 now, and we were doing a show about 4 months ago, and I'm like paying attention to what I'm singing, and I was like, oh. So yeah, this is about a traveling gypsy woman who liked to entertain crowds a certain way,
A woman
shall we
of
say?
fallen reputation.
Yes, a fallen reputation.
Fallen reputation.
She was a stripper.
As my grandma would have said, somebody who slipped around a little bit.
Slippy.
Not slept, slipped.
Slippy.
So here's one called Molly Rose. We're going to try it for you. And if you listen real close, no kids, right? If you listen real close, you might even hear her slide down the pole in the song. When Molly Rose came to town, fellas would come from miles around to see her dancing and smile. Her long blonde hair, blue green eyes, cast a spell that hypnotized all of us for a while. My Molly Rose, lovely girl, the prettiest thing in the world. I long, hold you close to me. But by tomorrow you'll be gone, I'll still be here all alone, dreaming of you, my Molly Rose. She made a living on the stage, making all the menfolk gaze, hoping for a little smile. And from box seat he could see Molly Rose, she cares for me, only for a little while. My Molly Rose, I love you, girl, you're the prettiest thing in the world. I love, hold you close to me. Bye, Molly, you'll be gone, I'll be here all alone, dreaming of you, my Molly Rose, just dreaming of you, my Molly Rose.
Yes, Justin, I was one of those old men that was laughing at you going, that little boy doesn't know what that song is about, does he?
I sung it by rote memory so long.
No, but thanks for asking.
Let out.
I think you should sing The Love of the Mountains. The
Oh!
old mountain song. If you
Of course you want to.
need help on the words up.
Yeah, you might as well help me with that.
Let me get a strap. I'll be right.
Oh, we gonna sing.
Just,
Oh, all right.
Just so you know what's happening, we come up here from Medway, Ohio, to pick with Chris, my brother, and get to see Connie. I haven't seen her in 10, 12 years. And, so it's really nice to see all of you. Glad you're all here. So I had a stroke, so I can't sing and pick worth a damn, but we're giving it hell.
Yes, I know.
What are we doing?
You're singing Love of the Mountains.
Love of the Mountains.
Tuesday.
Trees on the hillside I gather, always reaching up for the sky. With my mama and my papa, they lived there 8 years ago. Down a bright moon shining in the valley, that old way is the standing day. Trees on the hillside. Tree. Papa used to talk about the old days when he was the first Saturday. His old love and mountains, and he did not change every day. Now the bright moon shining in the valley, that old wagon is consistent day. You grab the side cat.
He tries to wiggle out of it every time.
Yeah.
It's one of mine too. So, yeah.
You guys play Bernice's originals?
Cool. Not as this group, but yeah, I mean, I
He's got them all.
yeah, I know
I figured.
grand songs.
Old Kentucky River.
Yeah, when we get back in G.
Oh yeah, we'll do that when we get back to G. Sure.
And I'll make some t-shirts.
Right now?
So it is.
Out of D.
He came
Just
dressed.
just D and G.
He's the
He
only
did.
one on the stage that looks like
That's
Appalachian.
Matt. That's right.
This is
He won,
front porch picking
these are
dust.
my good
Everybody
bits.
comes comfy.
He won some of the deepest hearted of Appalachian awards. That's what he did.
I don't know who you are, but I love you.
That's Delcy Wilson. She's in charge of the show here. Her dad, Jim Three Eagles, was the one that got a hold of this property and used to take care of it. And he dropped his robe just a handful of years ago, but we still remember him. And Delcy, I don't know that you know that I do a song called Three Eagles that I have dedicated to your dad before in life. And it wasn't necessarily about your dad, but it's got his name in it, so we might as well say it was about your dad.
Good.
And Jim was,
Need a raise.
She's our new
You're
favorite
doing,
person.
you're doing
does
great.
your dad look set in his ways, Delcy? Can I say that? Was he a little set in his ways? Because he, when we first started having the gatherings here, now some of us are a little bit naughty and like to engage in some of that illegal lettuce, if you know what I mean. But
It ain't illegal anymore.
but Jim said, no, not on this property. He said, this is sacred property. And he said, we want you to be sacred. And we remember that Jim set in his ways. And I remember he had a knife that he would cleanse people's auras with a knife. And I remember seeing him do that a few times. And, so I just wanted to, in your presence, bring up your dad's name and your dad's memory. And I don't know that he liked bluegrass. And he loved bluegrass so much that we're going to dedicate this music to his memory of your dad. Oh, there we go. So there's reason that this worked out the way it did. So this is in his memory, then, as much as.
I ain't quite as tall as you, Chris.
Call him.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I was playing some jazz.
Now there's the banjo came to us from Africa, and it came as a gourd. And notice now it's a product of high technology. So they took American technology, industry, and took the gourd that had gut strings that was brought from Africa by the slaves. And that's the origin of the banjo. And so one of the ways of playing it was with the fingers, claw, and they call it the claw hammer. And Matt here is not only master of the three-finger Scruggs style, but he can also play the claw hammer style too. So
Very rare for anybody.
we thought it was sort of important for you to hear this more ancient style of playing the banjo from our Appalachian culture. So here's one called
Rocky Island.
Rocky Island.
Oh, Lord.
Will you
Hold on, y'all.
It's just D and G, yes sir. D and G is better than D and A. It's also really high, so I might need to point somebody out to come give me a swift kick to get some of these notes, okay? So if I point, I need the help. Yeah! Well, loud drums! Well, go out on a mountain, so little pain. Raise pound sword, little light of Jane. On the rocky island, go where I know. I see my candy darling, you know I love you so. Well, I wish I had a big old gay corn to feed 'em all. Wished I had some pretty little girls even when I'm gone. On a rocky island, go where I know. See my baby darling, you know I love you so. Well, peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have the girl I love, I won't have one at all. My time is gone, rocky island, go where I go. See my baby darling, you know I love you so.
That took it back here, didn't it? That nearly, it took me nearly out.
You guys are all a little bit more red now. A little bit more
Yeah,
red.
yeah.
The
That
blood-
took a little
the
more
blood's
work.
coming up, though.
We were being too lazy.
Maybe we should play something a little slower so everybody can take their breath like me.
If you quit that smoking,
If I do, you know, every time I do that, what Justin does to me,
says
he'll,
play
he'll say,
faster.
yeah, yes, exactly. He'll go, I know, let's
You
do
still faster than that.
East Virginia Blues.
East Virginia. Yeah, East Virginia blues he wants.
Do mention gospel music. We could do Angel Band or something that's for the music.
When you put together the field haulers of the slaves and their banjo and guitar, maybe the mandolin, Italian, what an interesting multicultural music this actually is, this bluegrass music. But then there's the side of it too, because it was done often in the church. And so this music gets tied into the gospel music as well, the church music. And so a lot of the music found directly in the Baptist hymnal will find its way into the bluegrass canon songs. And I remember I was so proud of myself when I first learned Amazing Grace. And I sang the 3 verses for my great-grandmother that I had memorized, and I was so proud of myself, and she looked up and she said, honey, there's more verses than that. So she said that was the praise I got from my great-grandmother. There's more verses than that. And if you're looking at Baptist hymnal, yeah, about 12 or 20 verses. So the religious music is a good part of this. And I was remembering today about my great-grandmother's funeral. And our family in Kentucky has a hilltop grave site where there's just 2 or 3 families have a graveyard. And the families take turns keeping care of it. My great-grandparents and grandparents and great-aunts and uncles and just so many of my family members are there in that graveyard. And I remember when my great-grandmother died, there was a preacher that looked more like a farmer than a preacher. Looked a lot like this fellow right here. He was in overalls and had great big hands. And he had just this beautiful voice. And he led the service and then took us all up to the hillside where the hole was. And we put her in. And it had been raining hard all day. And any of us with a spiritual bent know that comes. And so when the rain comes, it's your answer. didn't know that then, but I know that now, that the ancestors were actually with us. And it went just blue. And for the song Precious Memory, which I don't know the words or I would sing Precious Memory, but I do know another song that I've often been asked to sing after we've lost a good friend. I just had to sing it recently, and we lost our friend Dennis Bowers. And that's how I got back together with these fellas, was at a picking gathering for a good friend of ours who was a picker and would have been up here in this circle if he was still with us. So this is in honor of our friend who we've just lost recently, and this one's called Angel Band. My lady, sun is sinking fast. My race is nearly run. My longest trials now are past. My trial has begun. I've almost reached my heavenly home. My spirit loudly sings. Behold the holy ones they come. I hear the noise of wings.
I know what they're thinking, because Justin, the first thing he says, he goes, "Did you get some rest on that one?" Yeah, why? He wants to hear. What do you want to hear?
I don't care. I'm
Something
just
about
just make it
Virginia
sure
blues.
okay, bud.
Y'all know Virginia blues. Nobody knows Virginia. Are you kidding me? Nobody knows Virginia blues.
We're an uneducated crowd.
Well, Matthew, at light speed, please.
Oh,
Wake everybody up. I was born in East Virginia, North Carolina, no, there I met every maiden, and her name I did not know.
I don't want to drink that color. I don't want to walk the chain. All I want is your Georgia. Never take me back. It's a dream that I can't wait. In my hand, it's fine. I'm scared through my Georgia. I go back to East Virginia, North Carolina, and my home. I go back to East Virginia, North Carolina. Yeah!
Key of D, it's going to be in 3/4 time eventually.
Uh-oh.
We didn't practice this.
Oh, good. I like those. We don't practice.
The guy playing the tub here is my buddy Bob Peters, and we used to play in a rock and roll band for 30 or 40 years, and we still play and record together when we can. And the third member of the band, he left us in about 2020, and he was just the most amazing songwriter. But he kind of liked his beer a little more than anything, and that kind of is what took him out. He sort of liked beer first, and cigarettes second, and then music. But he wrote just some of the greatest songs that you could imagine.
Yes, he did.
And only had a sophomore in high school education. And I had a master's degree in literature to teach English. And this friend of mine with a sophomore degree would always harp at me about my songwriting and say, would you work on your words a little harder? Would you work on your words? He managed. I wrote better songs. But it was just his way. He wasn't that literate. He wasn't well read, but he could turn a phrase. And he had grown up at bluegrass festivals, and he said he remembers being at bluegrass festivals when Ricky Skaggs was just a little kid, and that they were running around at the bluegrass festival. And I'm thinking if my brother Dave maybe hadn't been so married to alcohol, that he might have been right up there with the Ricky Skaggs in terms of his reputation in the music. Because he wrote songs like this. Now, this is a song about a feller. Found out the truth of it is he was kind of a ladies' man at the bar. And he started to flirting too hard with the wrong woman.
I knew her.
And sometimes, you might know this story. I don't know. You probably know more of this story. And Bobby married the woman. And he was the one that went out with a pipe for a club. And Richard was the feller's name. Do you know who Dave wrote about?
Yeah,
I tried to figure out
I
who
know
it
who
was.
he's talking. David, yeah, I remember that, I think.
This is based on a true story. Two men in a bar, their motive unknown. They followed Richard outside, so he left to go home. And with a pipe for a club, well, they opened his head. And behind the bank, they left him for dead. And that's where he lay. So long no one knows. Night. Oh. And the policeman claims he was out on patrol. He saw an angel enter his soul. His guardian angel is watching over his life. Somebody up there didn't want him to die. Well, the years have gone by, and Richard is old. He's in a hospital bed, and his blood's running slow, but his family all claim who were there by his side. From his body rose an angel just when he died. His guardian angel had left his side. Somebody up there wanted him this time. And one more by Dave Carpenter. I met you and I said,
Oh my God, this is my favorite song that Dave Carpenter ever wrote. It's a multi-million dollar hit record, and I never got that.
it's about time you got it.
Gee, thanks.
Key of G. Got that G and F and C thing that jumps around songs. Good luck, brother.
For a second so he can see. Oh, just so closer to me.
I'll just watch Jenny. We don't care. We're not.
He's always been this way. I met you and I said this time is different. Maybe I was wanting it to be. I could not have shown so much persistence, too blinded by your beauty to see that you never really ever wanted me. Well, I guess I was a fool to believe you'd be the queen in my kingdom. You never wanted me to be your king. Well, I was too calm, it saved you from boredom. Your night returned to set you free. Well, you would sacrifice my friends for another, and I know you're feeling no remorse. He lift you up on his black stallion, and you'll ride off in the sunset on his door. So I'll lay here in this valley for a maiden, and one day soon I'll find the one that's right. Songs of joy will spread throughout the kingdom, like they did for me once upon a time. Like they did for me once upon a You all have been just the kind.
You guys are really good.
Looks like we got time for one more song if we steal 2 minutes from Jeff.
Sure.
Can we steal 2 of your minutes, Jeff?
Yeah.
We're going to do one more song here. I kind of like to end the key to A.
Hey.
Kind of like to end the set with this.
I didn't know.
That's that Canadian chord. Hey, 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 hey.
Well, I know you right is gonna miss me when I'm.
I knew that was coming.
Well, I know you right you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. I laid down last night, Lord, could not take my rest. I laid down last night, Lord, I could not take my rest. Well, my mind was wandering with the wild beasts in the west. Well, the sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. Well, the sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. March wind's gonna blow all my blues away. I wish I was a headlight on a northbound train. I said I wish I was a headlight on a northbound train. Well, I'd shine my lights through the cold Colorado rain. Gonna miss your baby rolling in your heart. Well, I know you right are gonna miss me when I'm gone. Well, I know you right are gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby rolling in your heart. I'm gonna miss your baby rolling in your heart. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.